What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Who are you? Who are you? Come here. Hey. I don't even know what just happened. Who are you? Hi. Well, you're new. You're new. Hello. Welcome to the channel, little dog. Oh, you are absolutely beautiful. You're absolutely beautiful. Yes. Oh, you're a puppy. You're a puppy. Yes, you are. Oh, she's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous little dog. Well, say hi, everybody. I don't know where this dog came from. She just ran up. Can I film now? You're gonna eat sticks? That's probably not the smartest thing to do. You're young. You're gonna learn. There he goes. He got a stick and he's out of here. Okay. So I have been gone. For most of you, you should know this by now. If you follow me on Instagram, I have been gone. I was in Indiana for quite a while. Good Lord, it's been 2 weeks since I left Oklahoma. And my cars have been sitting under a tree, and there's been a lot of storms. So we got to check for some damages. I didn't expect to be gone that long, but Indiana had some severe weather. We were out without power for 5 days. And things just got out of hand. So I'm sitting here looking at these cars sitting under the trees and sitting with all this grass growing up around. They look absolutely awful. What is this? They've got bugs. Look at that thing. I don't even know what that is. There are spider webs. This is an S-Class, guys. An S-Class. It's starting to look like some of the cars I find out at Copart and IAA. It looks like it's just been abandoned for months. This is insane. Needless to say, all these cars have got to get cleaned up, but I'm looking at these beautiful cars and I'm thinking, how much did I spend on all of these cars that are just sitting in my yard? This is I don't even remember, like a 2014, I think it's a 14 S550. It is not the 4MATIC. I paid somewhere right around $14,000 for it. Oh, my BMW. Oh man, oh good Lord. Are you serious? This tree limb obviously came down. It looks like it did hit the BMW. That's great. I'm not very happy. I thought that by parking them under the tree, I thought they'd be kind of protected from the sun. There'd be a lot of shade, but I didn't anticipate being gone so long. Anyway, my S550, I paid like $14,000 for that car, and it's just been sitting here. The BMW is a 2012 X5. It's the xDrive 35D Spiderwebs. Wow, this is definitely the diesel. We got a spider crawling right there. And you're back again. You're back again. Yes. This is a fleet update, and I'm also trying to figure out how much do I have into all of these things, man. $14,000 for this. This one was $6,000-ish, $6,600. This one was $4,000. This is my 2009 Maserati Quattroporte S, and it's got the wrong front end on it. And this one did really well on the channel. So did the S-Class. The S-Class did exceptionally well. The Maserati's done very well. And surprisingly, the E550 over here did really well also. But this thing I got for super cheap, $4,000, guys. And it took a little bit of work, but we really didn't spend any money on it. We got this thing running and driving. I spent $550 on a new X-pipe to give it a nice sounding exhaust. And that's it. Let's move over to the E550. This one is a 2014 E550. I paid $14,000 for this one as well. God, the spider webs are, and it's going between the cars, right on over here to the mirror. This is shameful, is it not? This is not good. This is not good. No, we've got to sell some of these cars, don't we? Yes, we do. We got to sell some of these cars. We're going to bring the keys and see if we can fire these things up, make sure they're still going to want to start, hopefully without a jump, but I do have my jump pack with me just in case. This is a beautiful convertible E550 I got it super cheap. Look, sticks and spider webs everywhere, man. Can you see this? Spider webs absolutely everywhere. This is not how you treat cars like these. This right here, the little, this one, I think this is a 2011, 2012 Mitsubishi i-MiEV. I think that's how you pronounce it. This one's, interestingly enough, it's been sitting here just like the rest of them, and it actually is cleaner than the rest of them. It has less residue, less sticks all over it. This one, we actually got a lot better off than when we had first purchased it. It would barely get you 20, 25 miles. And now, if I remember correctly, last time I took it out, you can get a good 35 or 40 out of it. And I paid, well, I didn't pay much for it. $2,500, I think. I think it was $2,500 for it. And then the Kia Forte. This is, I think, a 2014 Kia Forte EX. It had a clogged up catalytic converter. That was it. It's a good looking car, in and out. It needs a detail. The last company that I hired to come out here and do some mobile detailing for me, it didn't come out very well. It did not turn out very well. I'm not happy with it. Kind of disappointed for what I paid. The amount of detail I got out of it. The interior is still dirty. It smells bad. It doesn't look very good. But this one only had a clogged catalytic converter. We literally spent no money on this car, other than I think I did put a set of spark plugs in it because it's got like 110,000 miles on it. But this car I actually got for super cheap also. I think I paid maybe $2,800 for this one. I'll have to double check that number. I just checked and it was actually $2,000. It came out to right at $2,500 out the door for a great little car that should easily be worth, I'm talking an easy $6,000. All right, well, let's continue on into my shop because I've got another vehicle sitting in there. It's the only one I didn't leave out here, and when you guys see it, you'll understand why it is not sitting out here under these trees. The Ram 3500 is sitting out here. I just got my tags done today, and you're just gonna follow me around. You're welcome to, I don't mind. Yeah, come on, you can go with me. Cost me $3,000 to tag my pickup truck. That was a little more than I had anticipated. This yard has really grown up. I've got so much work to do now that I'm back. Let's go in the shop. Oh, it feels nice in here. Come on in. Yeah, you're welcome. I don't know who you are, but you're welcome. Mi casa, su casa. All right, that one right there. Yes, my beautiful 1940 Chevy. Poor thing's, it's okay. You don't have to be scared. She's a little sketched out, I guess. She doesn't seem to just trust anybody. She's a cute dog though. Got the Harley Davidson over there, but the 1940 Chevy Master Sedan. It's a Master 85. And I left this one in the garage because I just couldn't leave it sitting outside for something to happen to it. Right? This dog understands. You understand completely, don't you? Yes, you do. It's okay. Oh, don't be scared. Don't be scared. There's nobody here gonna hurt you, little one. No, nobody here is gonna hurt you. I do have my tag on. I was wondering where that tag went. I'm short a license plate. Now we know where it's at. But here she is. God, I want to drive this home. Oh, oh, spider webs again. That's nice. Where's the key? The key is not even in it. Yeah, the key's not in it. I don't know where the key is to this car. This thing is absolutely beautiful, but this one I paid the most amount of money for out of everything I've got right now. This cost me, I think it was $28,000. Yeah, it was definitely not cheap. So I just pulled out the calculator and I added up how much I have into every one of these cars, and it's over $70,500. Like, we're actually closer to 80, but I'm gonna say purchase prices alone for everything, we're into these cars for about $70,000. And I'm here to tell you, they may look a little rough because they've been sitting outside all this time, but 70 grand for this beautifully restored 1940 Chevy, and then for a 2014 S550 and another 2014 E550 convertible, and then the rest of the car is a Maserati Quattroporte. $70,000 is a lot of money. In fact, I'm sitting here kind of scratching my head going, we got to move some of these cars out. I want some of my money back. But at the same time, for that kind of money, we get a lot of car. Let me show you what I mean. We're going to fire the 1940 up. I'm going to take her for a quick spin because she's been just sitting in here for quite a while. And this is one of my favorite cars, but it's probably going to be one of the first that I send down the road, just because of how much I've got into this car. It's a lot of money being tied up. There it is. Sitting for 2 weeks, fire it up, not a problem. Not a problem. Okay, I don't want to get rid of this. Oh man, what a car. What a car. I kind of feel like I stole this car, really. It's got air conditioning. Make sure it's, yeah, it's on dash, all the way on cold, all the way on cold. Nice, ice cold air conditioning. The car has currently 3,176 miles on it. That's it, 3,000 miles. And I've put over 1,000 of those on it myself. I got it when it had 2,000 miles on it. Oh yeah. Man, it's nice to have this thing out. It is a very smooth car. It's not like some raggedy old restoration or something that was tossed together. This was done very, very right. And obviously whoever did it did not spare any expense on this car. It's an older build for sure. The build is about 20 years old according to the documents that I have, and I've got the book for almost everything that's been done to this car, frame and all, axles, the whole bit. Listen to that. Nice straight steering wheel. Smooth as butter. This thing loves to go out and eat the miles, guys. And honestly, my favorite car. My favorite car. I think you'll be surprised, though, as what my second favorite car is. We're not going to go out and drive for 10 miles with each car. It's going to take all day to do. I just want to get them each out on the road, bring them back home, make sure they're all still running and driving appropriately, because, as I said earlier, we've got to let some of these go. I'm really torn on which ones I want to sell and which ones I want to keep. This car has a $9,000 engine made by Edelbrock. It's a 410 horsepower engine, and then it has an Edelbrock ProFlow 1 multi-port fuel injection kit that added several thousand more dollars to it. A Mustang 2 front end, a Ford 9-inch rear end with positive traction. It's got a, what's it, bow ties and overdrives, I think is the name of the transmission. It's a stage 2 transmission, 700 R4, so yes, it's overdrive. It's got vintage air conditioning. You know, that stuff right there is a good $3,000 to $5,000 as well. There is and then the paint job, oh my god. Don't forget the Porsche seats on the interior. All the custom work on this car. This thing it should be worth an absolute fortune. I've just got so much money tied up in it. I don't want to sell it, but at the same time, I'd like to have some of my money back. So we're going to bring her back to the shop. This is why I come out here and I do this. It's really not for video content. Video content is great, obviously, but I've got to decide what cars to hang on to and what cars to send on down the road. And the only way I can decide which ones to keep and which ones to sell is by coming out here and just driving them. It's really not as easy of a decision as you might think it is to pick and choose which cars to sell. I mean, we've got power locks, power everything. It's got a banging stereo with a sub hidden back in the trunk. It is an absolute joy to drive. And I for one, I don't want to see this car go. But when you've got 30 grand tied up into something, it makes it the #1 choice to send down the road. And if I do decide to sell it, I would not take less than $30,000 for the car. There's no way in hell I'd take less than that. I've gone through and done suspension work. We got a fresh alignment on it. We changed the oil in the oil filter. We've got the ProFlow tuned properly. We've got the vacuum leaks fixed. Everything is perfect on this. It doesn't leak a drop of anything. It's 20 years old, a 20-year-old build, but everything underneath is like brand new. The other problem that I have with that car is it is so nice and so old. I mean, at the bones of it, it's a 1940 Chevrolet, and that makes it something that, even though I love driving it and it gets attention everywhere you go, I don't like driving it because I'm absolutely terrified that somebody's going to do something stupid, sideswipe it, rear end it, dent it, whatever the case may be. I don't want that car getting damaged. It's a 20-year-old restoration survivor. The last thing I want is for something to happen to it. I would feel like absolute crap. I almost rather just keep it in the garage where I know it's safe, but at the same time, why have 30 grand invested into something that's just going to sit in a garage to look pretty? And nobody's even here to enjoy it. All right, let's pick a key. I think we're gonna start with, there it is, the Kia. Let's see if the Kia wants to run. How many of you are just dying that I've got keys and booster packs and everything? Look at the Mercedes Star, look at that. You can't make this up. I had no idea that 2 weeks being gone could make everything look like this. We're gonna make sure this car still wants to run. Golly, just the amount of debris all over these cars. It's crazy. What is this? A bee? A horsefly. Ooh. Uh-oh. There we go. It's got power. I thought maybe it had died. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if there's any snakes underneath these cars. They've provided good shade for quite a while. Ha, fired right up. Fired right up. This is another little car. Let me turn this down a little bit. This is another little car that I really hate to love it, but I can't help but love it. I got such a good deal on this thing. I can't help but love the car, which makes it something I really don't want to get rid of. It gets amazing fuel economy, and I paid $2,000 for it. It just had a clogged up catalytic converter. So let's see if we can get it out of here. It's very wet back here, and the cars have kind of sank into the ground a little bit. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten cars stuck out here. It's very, very easy to do. So be very ginger with it. It actually doesn't feel that bad out here at all. We'll take this one on just a quick ride. Perfect. We should be able to get all these cars out of here and take them for a short ride. This one, as many of you know by now, when we got it, it was not running well at all. It was in very, very bad shape, and it turned out to just be a clogged catalytic converter. Once we took care of that, perfect. We put new spark plugs in it, and as you can see, runs, drives, shifts, absolutely great, which is why I love the car. A lot of you do not like Kias and Hyundais, but I'm here to tell you I absolutely love Kias and Hyundais. They're not perfect, no car is, but when you're talking about something cheap, something economical, something that you can own long term, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. At the end of the day, guys, I don't care how cheap of a car you've got. I don't care if it's a $500 beater you found on Facebook Marketplace. I don't care if you spent $200,000 on a Maybach, whatever Bach. At the end of the day, a car is a car. There's different levels, there's different tiers, and obviously some are much nicer and have much more features than others do. And at the end of the day, all cars have a purpose. That purpose is to get you from one place to another. And hopefully they can do it reliably. Well, this car has 130,000 miles on it. Someone gave up on it because of a catalytic converter. They most likely could not diagnose the problem properly, and they gave up on it. Well, I got it for so cheap, and it's so economical. I don't drive it, unfortunately, but if I chose to, this little car would get me anywhere I needed to go very reliably and cheap. It's hard to beat a car that gets excellent fuel economy like this for 2,000 bucks. It's a clean title, running and driving car with decent paint, decent body, decent interior. You got XM radio, nice cold air conditioning. Steering wheel is straight as an arrow. Forgive me, guys, this road is kind of wonky, but I mean, it is a straight steering wheel. This is a nice little car for 2,000 bucks, and for that reason, it makes it very difficult for me to want to let this one go, because at the end of the day, when are you going to find another deal like this for $2,000? Now, with that said, many of you know that there's a bit of a story behind this car, and I'm going to do a dedicated video on that very soon, if I haven't already. This car was supposed to come with a clean title from the auction. Unfortunately, I never got the title. I still don't have the title, and it's been, good Lord, it's been, what, a month and a half, 2 months maybe? I think we're pushing 2 months now that I've had absolutely no title to this car. Well, what does that mean? It means if I decided I wanted to sell it, because I should easily be able to get $6,000 out of this car, it means I can't. So instead of being able to make a $4,000 profit, I have no choice but to hold on to the car and just do nothing with it. Stay tuned if I haven't done the video update about this yet. There is a story, there is an update, and I will be sure to fill you in on that. But yeah, as of right now, currently, there is no title, and I can legally drive it because I'm a dealer and I own the car outright. I can put a dealer tag on it. I can absolutely use it. I had a lot of you saying I should give the car to my daughter, give the car to somebody else. You can't do that, guys. You can't just give a car away with no title, because the car has to be registered in whatever state. It has to be insured. Well, with no title, you're going to have a hard time insuring or registering this car. So I can't give it away, and I can't let people just use the car with my dealer plates on it. This car is insured to my dealership. It's insured for myself and anyone else for my business using the car or test driving the car. It is not insured to give it to your kid with your dealer plate and let them go driving around. You can't do that. It doesn't work that way. It's a good way to get your license taken. It's a good way to lose your insurance. With that said, we're back home. It made it not a problem. Even just cruising around like we just did, it got almost 28 miles a gallon. 28 miles a gallon. Just getting up to speed and turning around and getting back. Air conditioning on and eco mode turned off. 27.4 miles a gallon. Good sound in stereo. No warning lights on the dash at all. Runs and drives absolutely great. As I said, this is another one that even if I had the title for, I would love the money, but I also know that it's going to be very difficult to ever find another deal quite like this. And unfortunately, that's kind of the story to each one of the cars that I have. It's not easy to find great deals on cars these days, guys. So when you find them, even though you know you can make money, part of you, at least me, is like, I don't know if I can ever find another deal like this again, and I don't want to give it up. I'm kind of feeling a little bit like I could be a car hoarder. So let's get back and find out what's next. I've already picked the key. It's going to be the Mitsubishi i-MiEV. This one is absolutely on the chopping block. This one is going down the road. So no issue with that decision, but we will go ahead and take it on a quick ride. I'm probably not even going to clean this up, truthfully. 71 miles of range. Look at that. Look at that. That's impressive. But as soon as we kick on the air conditioning, that's gonna, yeah, drop very, very quickly to 56 miles of range. Let me buckle up and we'll take this on a very short and quick ride. All right, we're already down to 52 miles. just all I did is put my seatbelt on. I kicked the air conditioning up all the way. Oh, there we go, max 51 miles. It's hot out here, guys. I'm not even kidding. Like, it is super hot. I just got back from Indiana, and I was there for 5 days with no electricity, no air conditioning, and I'm here to tell you, it wasn't nearly as hot there as it is here. And the crazy thing is, the temperatures there were not that much different from what they are here. You know, we were in the high 80s, and Oklahoma at the time was about the same, but the heat just feels different in Oklahoma. I don't know how to describe it. It feels so much hotter here than it does up there. I probably need to get this car into the shop and charge it back up again. We're down to 49 miles, 50 miles. However, the interesting thing is there's a little yellow light that comes on, and it complains about a turtle, and it really limits your ability to go fast-ish. This car doesn't go fast, but to go fast-ish. And so far, even with the AC full blast, I'm going 55 miles an hour. Not an issue at all. I still think this car could make somebody a decent little commuter car around town, for sure, in a city, which is what this car was originally designed for. Not a problem. I don't think this is a good car for anybody that's trying to really commute anywhere. Definitely not. But we still got 48 miles, and we're cruising at almost 60. I'm not going to drag this one out. This one is absolutely going up for sale, and I don't know what to expect out of it, but if I could get $2,500 out of this car, I would be fine with that. I would be absolutely happy and content just getting my money back on this car. At the end of the day, when I got it, you could barely go 20 miles, and now you could do almost double that with the air conditioning and going almost 60 miles an hour. Well, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm kind of impressed. The range is still sitting at 61 miles. I turned off the air conditioner, but we're still sitting at 61 miles. I'm just going 48, 47 miles an hour. Not an issue. I made it there and back. I actually took the car a little further than I've taken the other ones, just because I was curious to see how it was going to react. And I'm impressed. It did it. It did it, and it did it very, very well. Let's turn that air conditioning back on. I'm kind of curious to see what happens when we turn on 48. Let's turn it on max. 46, 45 with the air conditioning on. Guys, I put 6 miles on it. So that is very, very impressive. And of course, if you turn off the AC, it goes back up to 61 miles. This car has never done this good before. It figures. I finally decided, you know, I'm going to sell this thing and let it go, and that's when it wants to start working right. I don't know. Anyway, this car is definitely going on the chopping block. It's like I've got my own auction walk around out here, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Let's see what car is next. We're going to do, oh yeah, this is the little key fob for the iMiEV. I forgot all about this. I figured out how to work it. It's been a while though. I put a fresh battery in it, and it does work. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of bright out here, and this screen is kind of dim, but there it is. It shows the battery charge. Can you even see that? Anyway, you can cycle the climate control on and off, and you can set when you want it to charge, how long you want it to charge, things of that nature with this. So kind of cool for, you know, old technology that it is. But yeah, there it is, and it does work. And of course, this is going with the car along with the second key. Next, I think this is the E550. Yeah, the E550. Another one of my absolutely favorite cars. And it's got power. I can't believe that. A Mercedes that sat for 2 weeks and well, it hasn't fired up yet, but it's got power still. Let's climb in here. I absolutely love this car. Oh, I forgot it's push to start. Haha, fancy. Yep. Oh, was that there's spider webs in here. Oh, there are spider webs in the car. Lovely. In the steering wheel and stuff too. Very nice. let's turn this radio down. Oh, there's that cold air. Nice cold air. Does this have air conditioned seats? I can't remember. It doesn't, does it? It sure looks like it's got air conditioned seats. Huh. Oh, it does. There we go. There we go. I don't know what that does, but yeah, there we go. Air conditioned seats. Very, very nice. Let's turn eco mode off on this one. I don't even remember how to do it. There's a button over here. No? It's been so long since I've driven the damn thing, I forgot how to work it. I couldn't leave the thing in eco mode, so I found the button. It's right there. Forgive me, guys. I've got quite a few cars, and it really is hard to remember all the little quirks and features of each of them. This one I got really cheap, $14,000, and of course there's a reason I got it so cheap. Number one, it was listed as a flood car, and it is a prior flood car. I can't remember if it was Illinois or Mississippi, or I don't remember where. It really doesn't matter, but it is a prior flood car. But the flood was in 2014. It's when the car was brand new. So here's how I feel about it. Yes, a lot of people are sketched out over flood cars, and rightfully so. I completely understand. I get sketched out too, but I've had enough of them. They just don't bother me so much anymore. Oh yeah. Oh wow, there we go. Now I remember why I love you. Yes, it is a quick car. It's not the fastest car on the road, but I'm telling you, the twin turbo V8 in this thing, in this little car, it may be an E-Class, but if I remember correctly, it's built on the C-Class platform. It's a small car with a twin turbo V8 under the hood. It absolutely gets it. Anyway, the car was flooded in 2014. According to what I found, it was a fresh water flood, not salt water, in 2014. Well, here we are in 2023, and the car is still running and driving absolutely fine. So the flood title obviously affects the value, but with that said, it's only got 72,000 miles on the odometer. There are no warning lights on the dash at all. Everything in this car works as it should. Well, there was one thing that didn't work when I got the car, and that contributed to my ability to get the thing for $14,000. And that was, it was listed as the convertible top malfunctioning. The convertible top did not work. Well, if you saw the video, and the video of this car did really, really well, the convertible top was not broken. There's a little, I'll show you here in just a second. I'll pull off the road and I'll show you, because we're going to drop the top in this. The convertible top has a little storage compartment in the trunk, and it can be folded up or down depending on what you're doing. If you fold it up, you can fit a lot more stuff in the trunk, but you can't drop the top. If you fold it down, you lose cargo space in the trunk, but you can drop the top. Well, somebody had it folded up for storage, and I guess the previous dealer had no idea that you just reach in there and pull it down and get the top to work. And to be fair, I didn't know that either. Okay, I was reaching out to Mercedes John. He works for Mercedes-Benz out here. I was reaching out to him. I was reaching out to anybody I could, trying to figure out, you know, is there some trick to getting the top to work? I thought something was missing. Well, nothing was missing. It just needed the little thing in the back. Let me show you. I'll put it in park. And we'll go back there and take a quick look. This little compartment right here with an arrow, it goes up and the top's not going to work, or it goes down and the top will work perfectly. It is a beautiful little car that runs out strong. I love this thing. I don't know why I stopped driving it. I got too many cars. I drove it for a while and then I parked it, and I just haven't been back. And now that I am, I've got the title for this one in hand. I've got the title for the iMiEV in hand as well, and I've got the title for the S550 on me as well. So I can absolutely get rid of these if I want to. Is it this way? No, it's the other way. Let's watch this top do its magic here. I gotta drive it with the top down. I have to. It is a little hot today. It's right around 100 degrees. There we go. That's all it was. It required absolutely no money to fix. All I had to do was push a little storage compartment back up, and we have a drop top. Your little convertible top buttons are hidden under this door right here. And oh, we got low tire warning, 33, 33, 32, and 25 on the passenger right. So I'll definitely need to check the air in those tires. Full tank of gas, and now we've got the top down. We can really enjoy this car. All right, let's get back. Whoa. Oh man, this mother. Whoa, she gets it. I love this car. I do. I really, really love this car. It is, compared to one of my Hellcats, it's not fast. Not even close to being fast, like a 797 horsepower wide body red eye. But it is quick. It is a little car, and I'm telling you, that twin turbo V8 under the hood scoots this thing down the road like nobody's business. I absolutely love this car. Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna go ahead and sell it. I've got several people that have emailed me very interested in this vehicle, and I don't want to let it go, but at the same time, it's $14,000 or so. I'm sure I can sell it for, I guarantee you, I can sell this car for more than 14 grand. I expect to be able to pull a good 17. I think 17 or 18 out of this car is very, very fair. And the best part is, other than cleaning it up, I haven't had to do anything to it. And speaking of cleaning it up, that's something we're gonna have to do to this car before I can get rid of it, because it is extremely dirty. But as you can see on the dash there, there's nothing, you know, nothing at all. No warning lights. We can slow down real quick. Let's slow down. I'm just gonna kind of give her the beans real fast. All right, we're at a complete stop. Hear the tire screech, and there they go again. Man. Oh. Another great little car. Really great little car. And just like I've said with the rest of them, it's one of those, it's such a good deal. I got such a good deal on this car. It's hard to sell it, because I know I'm probably not going to find another Mercedes like this that is this fun and a convertible this good looking for this cheap, that runs and drives like it's supposed to. It's probably never going to happen again. And then there were three. Boy, this is getting hard because these are some great cars. Here's the Maserati. This car also just blew up on the channel. Several of my cars that I picked out have done really well. The E550 has done really well. The Quattroporte has done really well. The S550 has done absolutely phenomenal on the channel. Even, to my surprise, the little diesel X5 that needed some work. For what it is, I mean, it didn't, this car did not hit 100,000 views, but it got close. I think it hit around 70,000 views. Not bad at all. The S550 though, that one, man, each video is just hitting 100,000+. I think the first or second video on it, where it actually threw check engine lights, that video hit like 180,000 views. The first video did like 130, 140,000 views. It's just, this one just keeps producing. Same thing with the Maserati, it just keeps producing. Oh, you know what? This one's gonna have a flat. I keep forgetting that the back tire on this goes flat after a while. Yeah, is it? Actually, I think we can at least get it over to the truck. I've got an air compressor back there. If it's not flat, it's definitely low. It's still got power. No kidding. This one is also kind of a favorite of mine. Oh, listen to that. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is not the 4.2. This is the 4.7. And this engine is actually used in Ferraris. I mean, I know everybody's like, oh, Maserati's a Ferrari, and then everybody's like, oh, wait a minute, no, it's not. It's a Chrysler, it's a Fiat, it's a Mopar, it's a lot of things. But I can tell you this, the engine in this car is 100% a Ferrari engine. This isn't just like a one-off that they tossed into the car and everybody pretends like it's a Ferrari motor. The engine in this car is absolutely 100% Ferrari. All right, let's pull this thing up here and let's get her some air in that back tire before we cause damage that we don't want to cause. And the ZF transmission, this is a great transmission paired with an absolutely wonderful motor in this car. And for $4,000, it's another one of those deals that's just hard to pass up. All right, let's take this one out on the road. This one is great because just like the other ones, it's so cheap. But unlike the other ones, like, it really is cheap. $4,000 for a Maserati with a 4.7 engine, the engine that you want if you're going to get one of these. It's an absolutely insane deal. And the fact that we got it running for next to nothing. Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh. Good Lord, man. She scoots. She definitely gets down the road, man. She'll get out of her own way. No problem at all. Suspension up front's a little questionable. We do have, what was it? I think one tie rod. One inner tie rod is bad. Upper control arms. It also needs front struts. The MSP, which is, I guess, the stability program, does not function. Or maybe that's the suspension program, I don't know. But either way, it doesn't work. Headlights also don't work. The headlights on this car are off of the wrong car. So is the front bumper. The bumper and the headlights are off of a older Maserati. Therefore, nothing is working up there because it's all wrong for this car. Somebody went cheap and they threw the cheapest parts they could find on it so that they could probably sell it through the auction, which they did to me. I'm not upset about it though. I found a bumper for it that I need. It's in Florida. I would have to go get it. The bumper is $800. The brakes work great, by the way. I mean, the brakes are phenomenal. Oops. Yeah. See? Oh, man. This is what I love about this car, is you could take this car out and just abuse the living hell out of it. And you don't have to care. The car doesn't care. The car loves it. This car enjoys taking a beating. It really does. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? It's going to blow up? It was a $4,000 car. Have some fun with it. EBD failure. Go to dealer. You know, there you go. It's got the brake light just came on. Maybe it's low on brake fluid. I'm not sure. But what I was trying to say is it's a cheap car that you can really take out and have some fun with. There we go. Let's get her. The front bumper I found in Florida for $800. The headlights are where you start getting into the money. The headlights can be $600 to $800 a piece. I'm gonna let this guy go. We're gonna kind of get on it just a little bit and launch her. Good God, she moves. Wow. What a great little car. have with this car for so little money. And that is why I love my little $4,000 Maserati Quattroporte. All right, let's get her back to the hacienda here. Pull her back in. Brakes feel fine to me. I don't know what the brakes are complaining about, but they feel absolutely great. Not a problem at all. That front end does creak and make some horrible noises, but listen to that. I love this one too. I really do. But I think this one may also be on the chopping block. So I suppose the obvious question is, if the car brings so much good content, why would I send it down the road? Why would I put it on the chopping block? Well, unfortunately, I think this car has pulled about all the big content that it's going to pull. It's not a big deal to replace a bumper and a couple of headlights, guys. That's not a big deal. What starts getting into money is when you start talking about an $800 bumper, then you're talking about $600 headlights. All right, $1,200 plus you're looking at $2,000 for headlights and a bumper. But that's not all. It needs a couple of struts. Those struts, if you can find them in decent used shape, guys, those struts are a good $150 or so a piece. So another $300, now you're at $23. The upper control arms that it needs, again, used, those go for around $300 from J&J Auto Wrecking. I've already contacted J&J. I sent them an email. They did not respond back to me, and that's fine. That, you know, sometimes it just works out that way. You hope that you can get sponsors, but sometimes you can't. Well, you're now talking another $600 for upper control arms as well, and this is for used parts, guys. I mean, come on, by the time you're done, how much do you have into this thing? Another $3,000, $3,500 in parts, and after you've gotten all of that done, you still haven't even begun to address what's going on the interior, which is these seats just, ugh, you know, they're not very good. They're not very good. And the problem with this, and I've also been online looking for a parts car. I thought we could do kind of like another Swamp Vet series where we buy a parts car and, you know, we put this one back together using the parts car. Well, that's great. The problem is, and this is what I find crazy. If you can find one of these, I think it's 2008 or 2009 where they did the facelift. If you can find one that's like wrecked in the back or something, or flood damaged even, you're going to pay a good $6,000 to $10,000 for the parts car. So what I'm saying is, it's going to cost a considerable amount of money for everything that the car needs to put it back together. And unfortunately, I don't feel like there's enough content value to offset the cost, which would make it a bad business decision. So if I were to decide to let the Maserati go, and there's a very good possibility, I'd say a probability that it's going to go up on the auction block for sale. The Maserati, just because of how expensive they are and how much parts are, that engine, good luck on getting an engine for one of those. Cheap, I should say. A 4.7 is not a cheap engine. You're gonna be looking at, I think $5,500 for that car is very fair. I think $5,500 is gonna be my absolute bottom dollar on that car, because it may be rough as hell, but it runs, it drives, it's got a good powertrain. You know what I mean? The motor is solid, the rear end is solid, transmission is solid. So as far as just the mechanicals are concerned, that car is a gold mine in parts. It's probably worth more in parts than it's worth as a whole car. And then there were two. That leaves us with, I love, I say this about all of them, don't I? I guarantee you I sound like a used car salesman. The thing is, though, I don't actually want to sell any of these cars. Aside from the Mitsubishi i-MiEV and the Maserati. Those two I think I'd be good with selling. The rest of them I really don't want to. You can see how long they've been parked here. You can see where they left, like everything died underneath where these cars have been parked for so long. Yeah, they've been sitting a while. It's probably a good thing we're moving them. They're sinking into the dirt. My 2011 or 2012 BMW X5, a very basic SUV. And I've had several people comment about how it's just a basic SUV. It's a base model, doesn't have any cameras. Well, that's fine. I never said it was some, really expensive, high-optioned SUV. Obviously, it's not. I know this. But it is a very nice, smooth riding, comfortable, quiet, and relatively low miles. 112,000 miles on the odometer on this one. And I got it super cheap, like $6,000. It needed an EGR cooler. Monkey Wrench Mike and I took care of that, and it's been running and driving fine ever since. So why don't we take this one out on the road, and let's see how it's doing today. All right, the cameras are complaining because the grass has grown up so tall behind the bumper that it thinks there's an obstacle there. It's got good air conditioning, but it just doesn't have any of the cool options that most people are probably expecting from a BMW. No cooled seats. It's got a pretty plain Jane navigation and stereo system. There's just not a lot of buttons in here. There's enough to make you feel confident and comfortable driving, but just it's the extras that this thing is really missing. Now, with that said, it does have heated seats, and it drives wonderfully. It really does. And when I was driving it around the highways, I was getting excellent fuel economy out of this. So let's get her out on the road. It is all-wheel drive. This is xDrive. That diesel engine is torquey. It's got a lot of low-end grunt. It's got 112,191 miles on the odometer currently, and what more do you want from it? It's a very comfortable SUV. It's got brand new tires, and the value of this thing, I can't even remember, but I keep thinking this thing's like $13,000, $14,000, clean title. It's got some crap in the windshield wiper. There we go. Fixed. Not a problem. Cruise control works. There are no warning lights on the dash on this one. This is another one that I really enjoy. I drove it. I took it home. I do this with all of them. I took it home and I drove it for a while. The panoramic sunroof works. All of the windows function like they're supposed to. Power seats, everything functions in this. It doesn't leak a drop of anything at all. It's a great all-around SUV. It's just not super fancy. It looks good. Definitely has some really aggressive styling. The all-wheel drive is really nice to have. The diesel is excellent because they tend to last a long, long time. This particular engine is one of the best engines that BMW's ever made, according to a lot of BMW forums. This diesel engine is a great engine, and I can tell you it's very torquey. It gets great fuel economy, and so far it hasn't been too much of a problem to work on. You've got the panoramic sunroof right there, which also works. It's a great all-around vehicle. The problem I have is that I've got too many cars. I love driving this. In fact, I may actually consider taking this home instead of the truck today. I absolutely love driving it. Very comfortable. I wouldn't call it the ultimate driving machine, but it's a very comfortable and confidence-inspiring vehicle. I love the thing. I just don't ever use it. So this is one that I feel like maybe it should be on the chopping block, just because I really don't need this SUV. Turning radius is very good too. You just saw me pull that off right there. Very nice. And that low-end grunt, I'm not even flooring it. Dang it, I really do like this thing. I kind of want to take it home. I might actually take this home with me today. I'm going to park it in a way that I don't have to dig it out in case I decide to drive it home. But I might drive this one home. I don't want to put this one on the chopping block. Hell, I don't really want to put any of them on the chopping block, but I gotta sell some of these because I need more money for some of the new content. I've already bought more cars, guys. I spent another, what was it, $10,000 was my winning bid. It's a Chevy SSR. I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag right now. I bought a Chevy SSR sight unseen on a red light, which means no guarantees. It was also listed as having internal engine noise. Yes, internal engine noise. That means expensive. But I got it for 10 grand for an SSR. Are you kidding me? That's an insane deal, even if it needs an engine. $10,000 for an SSR is an absolute steal. I bought it today. I paid for it. It should be here hopefully within the next week. I'm also trying to get my hands on one of my favorite generations of Camaro, the 1995 Camaro Z28. I'm working really, really hard to get my hands on it. They want 7 grand for it. I'm sitting more at about 63, 65 tops, and we just can't seem to agree over that last 500 bucks. But I'm trying to get that as well. And obviously, if I'm spending money on new cars that are going to need new parts, some of the old stuff has got to go. And as much as I love every one of my vehicles, I have to let them go. They've got to go. None of these cars are doing any good sitting down here under a tree. They're sitting in a field. It's turning into, I'm like the bargain basement budget version of Sam Crack. You know what I mean? I'm buying a bunch of cars, and once I get them where I want them to be mechanically, they sit in a field. I can't put them all in the garage. I've got nowhere to store them. They're forced to sit outside. And I'm thinking, how many people out there could use a good deal on a decent car? And I've got a whole bunch of them sitting here. All I have to do is put them up for sale, and they can move on down the road to a new owner. I'm sorry, but I know it's an older BMW. This is probably one of my all-time favorites as far as the European cars go. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense because I've got the E550, which is also another really, really big favorite of mine. The S550, I love that one too. What the hell is this? Oh, it's a worm. Damn, okay. I've got a lot of favorites, guys, but truthfully, this X5, if I needed an SUV, that would be the absolute perfect one for me. I'm pretty sure I could hook a trailer to it. I'd be willing to bet that you could tow with this. I don't think it's got a tow hitch. Let me take a quick peek and see. If not, you can always get a tow package installed, I'm sure. No, there's no tow hitch on this. It'd be nice if it had one, though. Great SUV, guys. Like I said, I love the cars, but I can't keep them all. And then there was one. The S550 W221. I brought, what the hell was that? Whew, okay. Bingo. I brought all the keys today, guys. Oh, there's spider webs all over this thing. This car, absolutely beautiful. Inside and out, I just said that, didn't I? I know I sound like a used car salesman here, and I suppose there's nothing I can do about it because it's the truth. I love these cars. This one, the BMW, clean title. This one, also clean title. And this is one of the things that really frustrates me about this one. It's got the pre-safe functions, lane keep assist, all of that crap. It works 50% of the time, and 50% of the time it does not work. So half the time you'll start the car and it's going to say lane keeping assist failed or whatever, and all of that other, the other little yellow warning light there for lane departure warning or whatever. And the other 50% of the time it starts up just fine with no warning lights on the dash at all. Well, I say that, but there is that little check engine light that is still on. Unfortunately, yeah, the check engine light is still on. We do have our air-conditioned seats. We'll crank those up. Let me get some of this stuff put into the car, and we'll take this one for a drive, and then we are done. Now, this car runs and drives absolutely perfect. In fact, let me show you something real quick. I have turned on Sirius XM. I've got it activated on my account. Why we're listening to Barbie Girl, I don't know. That's got to be something for Mike.
I Spice, and you've got one called Barbie World, which kind of
Barbie World
interprets that.
Okay, we're not going to listen to that. It's got to have something to do with Mike's Barbie Jeep. But anyway, 182,000 miles on the dash on this one. Clean title, check engine light is on, and it's for one stupid code that I couldn't get to go away. In all fairness, I haven't come back to it. I wanted to, I meant to, but I just never did. The code is for a cam sensor that I guess is out of sync according to it. Cam sensor correlation. It runs and drives perfect. No issue at all. I would drive this car absolutely anywhere. In fact, I've driven this car all over the place, and I trust it 100%. But at the end of the day, you know, it's older. It's got 180,000 miles on it. Look, here we go. Look at this. Not a problem. Shifts perfect. Drives absolutely perfect. You don't get any flashing check engine light. And when you run the codes, it's literally one code that I just can't get to go away. It gets excellent fuel economy. Let's turn on the windshield wipers here. Oop. There we go. Clean off those wipers a little bit, get some of that crap out of there. It is an absolutely wonderful car. It's a great place to be. It's really dark, and I don't even have the privacy shades up. But this car stays dark and cool. It rides smooth as silk, man. This is a car that if you've never driven one, I've driven a W220. I've had several, I think, W220s. But I've had people ask me, is the 221 really that big of a difference? Yes. Yes, 100%. The 221 is a completely different monster, man. This car, maybe I want to drive this one home. I think I want to drive this one. No, maybe I'll drive the convertible home. Or the 40 Chevy. I don't know. I've been gone for so long. I've missed these cars, and now that I'm back, I just want to drive them all. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I want to drive all of them again. Now that I'm behind the wheel of this, man, this is a big car. This is a really big car, and it is so comfortable, and you feel so confident driving it. All right, I put my sunshades up. I had to. You feel like an executive in this car. Now this one, you're not going to turn around in one fellow swoop. Not in this car. Oop, traction control. This one's a little bit bigger. We'll make sure nobody's coming. They're not. And let's get it. Oh yeah. Man. Like I said, if you've never driven one, you really should. These twin turbo V8s are absolutely a blast to drive, guys. Again, runs perfect, drives perfect. It's old. It's a 2014, and it does have some considerably high mileage, 182,000 miles on the odometer. That's a lot of miles for any car, but it's really a lot of miles for an S-Class Mercedes. She's holding up really well. The engine has been completely resealed. Every piece of the engine has been completely resealed. So there are no leaks coming out of this car at all, and everything works. It's got a few minor imperfections, like I said earlier. Well, the camera battery died unexpectedly. Like I was saying, a few minor imperfections, but overall, a great car that I find to be very, very reliable, extremely comfortable, and it's definitely very pretty to look at. A nice place to be. It's currently pretty dirty, but I'm telling you, I don't even know what car I want to drive home at this point. I'm really, really torn. You are still here. The battery died. It has been... I've been filming this video for probably 2 hours now, and this dog will not go away. She's a puppy, that's for damn sure. She's into everything. I don't know what I want to drive home. It was going to be the X5. I kind of want to drive the S-Class now just because of how big and comfortable it is. But then we get back over to the E550, and truly this car with the same engine that the S550 has in it, this car being much smaller and lighter is so much more fun to drive. So I'm probably going to take this one home. I was thinking about taking the 1940 Chevy home as well, but I'm just so torn, guys. I don't know. Excuse me. Allergies are kicking in today. I can choose between the 40 Chevy, the E550, the S550, or the X5 are the ones that I would probably consider driving home. But I think this is the one that I really want to drive home today. I don't know. We'll figure it out later, but I'm torn between the S-Class and the E-Class, but I feel like the E-Class is the one I'm probably going to drive home. And speaking of home, I'm going to have to get going. This little dog, man, she's a Spitfire. Yeah, she's a Spitfire. Yeah, she is. And she just won't stay away. I don't know whose dog it is. She's got no collar, no leash, or anything like that. But a lot of dogs out here don't. I'm sure you belong to somebody. So I know a lot of you are going to be like, take her home. Nah, it's not our dog. It's not our dog. She belongs to somebody out here. And she's just enjoying spending a few hours with us today. Anyway, there's Roxy on the porch. I think we are going to have to get out of here. So it is Friday for me, and this video should come out for you guys on Saturday. So do me a favor and drop your comments below. Tell me which one out of all these cars is your favorite. I'm actually very curious to know what you guys think. And if you had all these cars sitting here in your driveway, which one would you drive home? As I told you, I'm 99% certain I'm going to take the E550 home, but I'm curious to see what you would drive as well. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch my video. If you enjoyed the content, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Share the video with your friends and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Besides these cars, I've got more coming. I've already won a Chevy SSR for $10,000, and it's just like the one on Euro Crashed. If you guys have seen that episode 2, season 5, episode 2, Euro Crashed, it's just like that one. So stay tuned. That one is being shipped to me. Should be here before too long. And we've got a F350 diesel up in Terre Haute that I still got to figure out how to get and bring back. And as I said earlier, I'm also trying to get that 95 Z28. Really excited to bring some new content to the channel. And I think it'll be fun to compare and contrast something like a high-end Mercedes, an E550 convertible twin turbo versus something from the 90s, you know, like a 95 Z28. Is the fun still there? Is it the same kind of fun and experience you can get for, say, $7,000 versus $14,000 for an E-Class? Is a SSR still fun today in 2023? I don't know. I've never had one. It's one of my bucket list cars, and I'm so excited that I finally have it, although it does have internal engine noise. So stay tuned. I will see you all very soon in the next one.